Okay, hi everybody. In this video, I want to show you how to use Photopea to make your title page for your final portfolio. All right, so that can include your name and the title of your portfolio. All right, so but first, before we can make a new document, we need to check the size that we need to make it. So you want to make this document the same size as your pictures, probably as like a full frame of your picture. So if you've cropped anything, don't look at a cropped image. So what I'm going to do is open it up in Photopea. So I'm going to go to File and Open, and I'm going to go to my desktop and to my final portfolio folder, which I put on my desktop. So here's all the images that are in my final portfolio, and these are pretty much all the same things. I have not cropped any of them smaller than any other one, so I'm just going to pick any old one, which is this one will be fine, and go ahead and open that one. Okay, and so now I can see, if I go to Image and down to image size, I can see how big this is. So this is 3024 pixels across and 4032 pixels tall, and this is at a resolution of 72. So it's all right here. And that's all I really need to know is those three numbers, right? We could do this in inches also if you want to do it in inches. I don't mind, pixels are fine. I can set up my new document for pixels. So just make a note, it's 3024, 4032 at 72. And I can go ahead and close that. And I can go ahead and close that image there. And now on this page here, I can click New Project. New Project is going to open up this New Project dialog box. And over on the top left, we have New Project, so we can call this Title Page. And I have it set here for 4032 pixels by 3024 pixels at 72. All to do, you want to change that, make this 5000. Just go ahead and type in that little box there. Okay, so for me, I want 4032, and I chose to do my width 4032 the long way, and that, so it's a more horizontal orientation or landscape orientation than it is the portrait that I looked at. So I just flip-flopped my height and width to do that, and kept my DPI or my resolution at 72. Okay, and then I can choose my background. Right, so the options for your background are white, black, transparent, or the background, which means the background color you have in your color picker. So if we go down over here in our toolbar, here's our colors, and right now my background color is white. So maybe I want to have a different color for my background. So I need to do that before I get to this part here. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this out. It'll come back to these anyway. So if you've put in your width and height and resolution, you're okay. Just go ahead and hit the X, close that out. Let's go over here and hit our color picker. So I'm just going to put my cursor on that little black square and click, and up pops my color picker. So I think maybe for this group of images, a green might be kind of nice. And I don't want anything too dark, but maybe something's a little more saturation, but lighter would be nice. So maybe something like that would be good. So I just clicked on there, dragged my mouse around until I got the color I wanted. If I wanted red, I could click on red and find the red that I want. Once you find the color you want, it's showing up in this box here. Hit OK. Right, now it's the foreground color over here. So we're going to just flip that to make it the background color instead of the foreground color. So I'm going to hit these little arrows there, and now I've got white as my foreground, I have the green as my background, so I'm all set. All right, we go back to New Project, and look, it's still got my name, title page, it's got the width that I want, it's got the height that I want, it's got the resolution or DPI that I want. I just need to now do my drop down here. It says background, and we're going to click create. And there we go. I've got my green background in the size that I want that will match all my other pictures. Okay, so it'll all kind of flow nice when we put the PDF together. All right, so tool we need to use now is this big T, the type tool. So I'm going to click on that. If I click and hold, I can see I have a horizontal type tool and I have a vertical type tool. So if I click on my horizontal type tool, I can now click over in here. All right, so a couple things before I do that. Let's look at the options bar. So I've got a drop down for, come on, drop down. There we go. for the different fonts, and they give you a little preview of what that font will look like. So pick a font, one that is readable, two that would make sense to the kind of pictures that you've taken and the style and mood of those pictures. Okay, so I'm just going to go with this font that I have, this Deju Sans. I think it's fine for my demonstration here. Also check out your size, because if you start really, really small, you're not even going to see it on here. It's going to be really hard, depending on what the size is. So, try and pick up, this slides up to 150. So if you could do that, just slide up to 150 for now, and then we can change it after. And then this is your color picker for your font or for your type. So I chose a kind of dark, but more of a charcoaly gray, slightly muted to go with this green here. So I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. But if you want to choose a different color, click in here, click in there. It works the same way as the color picker we just looked at for making the background. Okay, so that's where you can change your font. And you can do this after all, so you don't have to do this before. All right, and then this is where it's how it's going to be justified, left justified, or right justified, or center. Right. So we're ready to do this. So I'm at 150. I have my font. So I've on my tool. I'm going to now click on my background. Okay, right in here, and I just click, and I made that box so I can start typing. I'm going to type my name. Okay, and it came out like slanted because I'm on oblique here. So I don't want to get rid of that. I'm going to put my cursor there, and you see what that cursor looks like. I'm going to drag this back to highlight this. Right, and once it's highlighted, now I can change any of these options up here. So I'm going to get rid of this oblique, and we're going to go with a book, which is just kind of like normal. And then I want to make this a little bit larger, so I'm going to just type in there, highlight that, type in there 300, hit return, and there we go. When my cursor looks like the cross, now I can move this around. That's like the move tool. So I can move and center that. And then the only thing I need to do is click in here and put a space in that I missed. Okay? And I'm all set. Another way to easily, quickly highlight this to use these options is to go over to your layers panel over here, put your cursor on that box where it says T and double click, and that will also highlight that. If you've made a huge mistake and you want to get rid of this, you click on that layer, hit your delete, and that will delete that. Right, I'm going to do a second type layer for the title. Right, so I just clicked on my, I just clicked to make sure I'm still on my type tool, clicked on my background, it gave me my starting spot, it made a new layer also, and I can start typing Ivana's invitation. Oops, invitation. And I think this I would like to have slanted a little bit. We have options there also, by the way. So I'm just going to make this one is going to be oblique. Okay. And if you want to get us unhighlighted, just click click on the layer. Okay. And we're good. All right, so there's that. I can now move this around because maybe this needs to get centered more, but I think it's okay. I think I want this down here a little bit, and oops, click on this guy, highlight that, move that in there, and I think we're okay. All right, so there's that. I can now put this and save this. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export as a JPEG. Right, so all your files should be JPEGs for making the PDF. Right, it gives us the same size. All of this is absolutely fine. Just go ahead and say Save. And this is going to save to your desktop as whatever you've titled it when we made the new document. I'm going to hit close that. And so we go ahead and look at my desktop. Where is it? It went to my downloads this time. So, all right, so check your downloads, check your desktop. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and add that into my final portfolio folder. So now I have all of my images and my title page in there. Okay. Now, when we make that PDF, this has to be in numerical order for it to be at the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a number 1 in front of it right now. Okay, and that is how to work with that type tool in Photopea and make a title page. Thanks.